Let me tell you something. I'm a highly rational man. I've been making my money last 12 years in real estate business, in stock market, right? And I was thinking sometimes, time to time, I imagine some things happening last 20 years. And I thought it's my imagination. But when I imagined the things were happening. I was like, this is a coincidence. But from predicting the Donald Trump becoming president in 2016, before the Brexit, economical fall down of Mindanao, and COVID, you know, and all these things, these events, you can always say, oh my God, it was 50-50. I knew that it's COVID. But yet I was ready to trade it. Oh my God. The chance was very low. I bet $1,000 that Trump will win 2016. In times it was 1 to 10. I earned $9,000. You know. And I was using this thing for economical purposes, but lately, last 2-3 years, these little things happening. So let's say the most crazy thing the crazy thing which happened to me was when I was 2 months in Rio de Janeiro, and I was on the beach, and I go there every day to Copacabana, drink a coffee, look at the sea, and thinking and relaxing. And one day I was sitting in one of these cafe bars or whatever restaurants on the beach. I was drinking coffee, and I was intensively thinking about this crazy, very interesting theory. We live in simulation, right? And 2 hours I was like having this internal dialogue or polemic with me inside me, and I was I was thinking, and you know and I was somehow thinking about this possibility, whether it's possible or not. And then I paid a bill, and I walked back to my hotel, and I walked down to Copacabana beach, and around 10 minutes walk later, there are always some a lot of people, and we were passing each other, and then there are these people like who begging the money, beggars, homeless people, or some kind of a crook. So these people who just trying to sell you some drugs, or sell you some sunglasses, cheap one, or these kind of hustlers. And then I'm walking, and suddenly one of these hustler, which was not nothing, abnormal. They always try to connect with foreigners. One of these hustler just give me a shout, and I was walking. I didn't see nothing. I didn't like look at this guy. But then I turned left, and there was this guy sitting on the beach, you know, on the next to the pavement, and he looked at me, and our eyes get connected, and he says, "Hey, it's true. Yeah, we live in simulation." And I was walking like that, and he didn't say, "I want money," or "I want to sell you drugs or cocaine," like if you've been on La Copana beach, you know what I'm talking about when you're foreign, when you're walking there. No, I was just walking on the pavement. I turned left, and there was this guy sitting there in age of 40. He looks like he needs a shower. Obviously, he was sleeping on the beach like homeless. And when he looked at me, he says only this thing. Only, I swear to God, only this sentence. "Hey, it's true. Yeah, we live in simulation." And I look at him, and I was like, it's written in my head, like, and I was like, maybe, and I said to myself, maybe I look really like deep thinking person, or down, or too much in immersed in my thoughts or something. This theory is well known theory, right? He could read it right away on the internet. But this day, it was not some day when this theory was published. No, it was many years ago the theory was published. And so it was not some special day when people talk about this. There was no reason to talk about this. There were no articles in news. I just was thinking about this theory more than 1 year, and then I read some books about this. and it seems to me high probable. And I just look at the guy, and he look at me and says, "Yeah, hey, yeah, it's true. We live in simulation." And he gave me this smile, and I look at him. I say, "Yeah, sure, buddy." And I keep walking, and and I make expression like, "Yeah, you're totally stoned, yeah, yeah." But because I thought he somehow read it from my face, or. But then I was, hey, stop. How the hell he could read from your face that you're thinking about simulation? Okay, who could read? He could read that I'm, kind of a mentally, I'm quite lost in my head, and I'm thinking about something, and this theory is popular. So the chance, what is the chance that you see somebody who looks pretty, deep thinking, yeah, and you guess the thought that he's thinking about this, that you live in some matrix. I mean, anyway, there are a lot of popular films, like I just said it, like the Matrix. So why he couldn't guess from my face that when I was mentally absent minded, or when I was absent, or I look really dreamy, and I look like very deep in my unconscious, and thinking, if I was somehow a little bit absent-minded, walking, and I look like thinking person, deep thinking, he could, you know, tell me this, and I said, hey, yeah, it was a chance, right? He could say, oh yeah, it's true, God really exists, or oh yeah, it's true, another theory, I don't know. Yeah, there are actually we live in some polytheistic system. Oh yeah, it's true that the uh, the 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 Mars, the green fucking, you know guys coming from the Mars or whatever. It's true the aliens exist. Or he could say, oh, it's true that you are in second life. This is your karmic life. So I was thinking, and then I went to the hotel, and then I was thinking about this. I was like, what could be the mathematical chance that he would say this when 2 hours before I was very I was thinking about this. And I have to say, I didn't explain it on the beginning, that I didn't think about this long time. you know I was not thinking about this theory 1 or 2 months. It was just, this day, when I have to explain that I didn't read some news, some new thing about this story. It was in July in Rio de Janeiro. I didn't read something on the news. I just randomly come to this thought after many weeks and weeks, and I gave it some time to think about this. 2 hours on the beach, and then during these 2 hours, after many weeks, I meet this guy who looked my eyes, and my sight, and he says, "Yeah, buddy, it's true. We live in simulation." I feel too much stupid or dumb to After a couple of meters, I stopped, and I was like, "What a coincidence!" I was pretty, shy to come back and say, "Hey, so you just here to telling me some signals, or you just communicate something?" I just went to my hotel, and I was like, I like these occultic things. This I'm superstitious person a little bit, but I really don't believe it. I'm materialistic atheist. I don't believe this bullshit, right? But I have to tell you, I mean, what can be the chance? What can be the chance?